What is up, guys? Today I'm actually going to be showing you guys my part 4 of my Marvel timeline if they haven't lost their rights to their characters like the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys slap that subscribe button down because I'm actually trying to get to 100 subscribers before the end of the year, so make sure to help me make that happen and leave a like, turn on the notification bell never to miss any other video. So let's get straight on with it. So the first movie of the Phase 4 would be Black Panther. Now, this movie would actually talk about Kraven. Kraven the Hunter would be the main villain, and it would be pretty similar to the Black Panther that we got, except that Kraven would be kind of coming and hunting Black Panther, and of course Wakanda and everything they'd have to defend it. We get introduced to so many new characters like Shuri and all that, and it would be kind of following the events of the Avengers vs. X-Men movie. So the next movie would be Captain America Reborn, or because he did kind of the Avengers and the X-Men, like the X-Men just stayed as a family, but the Avengers kind of like split up. So Captain America in Phase 3, the Avengers did split up, so Captain America in Phase 4 would actually be kind of ending off Hydra. It would kind of be Hydra's last stand, so like the remains of Hydra. The main villain of this movie would be Madam Hydra, so the girl from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 18, like kind of that robot girl where Fitz kind of created her, and we would see those characters, but they wouldn't really have a huge role. We would also get to see Mockingbird and stuff, and we'll get to see like S.H.I.E.L.D. and kind of the Hydra's last stand and the remains of Hydra. We'll also get to see Baron Zemo again. Wait, no, we wouldn't see Baron Zemo because he did die in the Hydra Wars, so it would just be like Madam Hydra. So after Captain America Reborn, it would be the X-Men Origins Gambit movie, so it would kind of be like how Gambit kind of becomes the new leader of the X-Men instead of Wolverine, because Wolverine of course did actually go back to Canada and live in the woods. So the new leader would actually be Gambit until, of course, Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, where they would actually need Wolverine, so they would call him up, but in the meantime, Gambit would be like the leader, and he'd be with Charles Xavier and everything, and it would be kind of like what we would have got in 2019. It would have been a Gambit movie, but we're gonna get like probably the same script with, of course, Channing Tatum. Then it would be the Spider-Man Insomniac kind of video game, but it would be, of course, a movie. It would be the exact same story as the video game because it would kind of go farther from the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and kind of go to the huge New York battle with the entire Sinister Six. He would kind of imprison them one by one, and we would also see Shocker, and it would be pretty cool. And it would be like we would kind of see Wilson Fisk just in the beginning getting imprisoned, but I'm gonna quickly get onto that later with the new street level stuff I'm going to be doing in the Phase 5 in the next Marvel if they haven't lost their rights episode. So after the Spider-Man video game, it would actually be the Inhumans, kind of showcasing what happened after Captain America, because in Captain America Reborn they would actually need to create Inhumans, which would actually help defeat Hydra. So we would see Daisy Johnson and Black Bolt would get a little cameo, but he wouldn't be a main hero. But we would see Daisy Johnson, the return of Agent Coulson, Fitzsimmons, Agent May, and all those characters, and that would be kind of replacing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4 episodes. I think it was episode 16 to 18 when they kind of got trapped in that second reality. Except Captain America would also be getting trapped in that same reality. But here it would actually be a Black Bolt series, or like an Inhuman series, explaining about how they're gonna help the Avengers defeat. They're gonna help the Avengers defeat Thanos, but that's later. And they're actually going to be which is gonna be there in their series. Then it would be a Fantastic Four setting up for the new Avengers Infinity War movie and the Endgame movie. It's gonna be setting up. It's gonna be showing how Reed Richards and Hank Pym do actually work on Ultron, and we're gonna see what happens with them. Then it would be a Blade movie setting up for a new Midnight Suns project that's gonna be actually later on in the timeline, so like maybe in a future video, and so it's gonna be pretty much like the same Blade movie that actually happened. Even though I didn't really see that movie, it would just stay the same just because I didn't see the movie. Then it would be Doctor Strange. Now this I wouldn't really change anything. It would just stay the same and same story, because I think it's actually a great movie, and it was really enjoyable to watch. So I'm gonna just leave it like that because it doesn't really change anything in the timeline. So that's why I'm just gonna keep it that way. Then it would be Guardians of the Galaxy and then Thor Ragnarok. These two movies, they were actually really good, except Guardians of the Galaxy Vol 2 would actually be the same storyline of Vol 3 of the Guardians of the Galaxy, because the next one, it's actually going to be a different story in the next phase. But Thor Ragnarok was just a great movie, and it would stay the same. So now the next movie would be Avengers Infinity War. It would kind of be the same story, except the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Blade, and all those characters would actually be in the movie, and they would all have to kind of form up again. It's a bit like what happened in Civil War, where they kind of had to form up back in Infinity War. So that's exactly what's going to be happening, and of course they're going to be losing. People who would stay, like the most important people who would stay, would be Ant-Man, Iron Man, Hank Pym, and that's pretty much it. Those are pretty much the only people who would stay, and not but like the only important people, the two smart people are us. Everyone else, there would just be a bunch of other people that would still be there, like the movie, but of course a few more X-Men and a few more of the Fantastic Four members. So now the last movie of this phase would be Avengers Endgame, where Iron Man and Hank Pym would actually need to create Ultron to stop Thanos, because Thanos would just be, like relaxing, and he would always have the Infinity Stones. So it would start off with Iron Man and of course like all the people that survived that are trying to kill Thanos in his world, because he did create a kind of like his castle and his base in space on planet Titan, the remains of planet Titan, and he created an army, and it would start off 5 years later. So then they would kind of need to stop Thanos. So what they would do would they would have huge arguments, and of course Hank Pym would win, and they would actually unleash Ultron. Now Ultron would kill Thanos, take the stones, snap everyone back, but it would be the same Ultron that we actually did see in What If season 1 episode 8 and 9, and we would kind of see how Ultron with all the stones, and it would be Ultron and Vision kind of combined. So then what would happen is that the X-Men and stuff, they would actually, keep fighting and all that, keep fighting Ultron, and what would happen is, instead of Iron Man making the final sacrifice, it would be Wolverine, because Wolverine would kind of have had his whole journey. For example, he would have started off with like being a soldier, then after that doing that, then just of course finishing off by sacrificing himself to save the world, of course, because he would be the only one that could actually kill Ultron with his vibranium, with his adamantium claws, that would actually kill him because of kind of electrocuting him. So that's gonna be pretty much it for the video, because that's really pretty much it for the phase. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, leave a like, turn on that notification bell, if you miss any other videos. So thank you guys all very much for watching, and bye.